I'm Vinny Politan. Thank you so much for joining us tonight here on Closing Arguments. And I'm going to begin tonight with a story that is extremely disturbing on many, many levels. It's a case involving a child who for the last 5 years, according to investigators, was locked at home in the garage in an 8x8 structure where there was a camera, a mattress, and a bucket. He was apparently released to go to school, but when it was time to go home, he went inside this 8x8 structure. The house he's living in is a beautiful home down in Jupiter, Florida, worth somewhere between $800,000 and $1 million. I think it's got 5 bedrooms, a pool, a jacuzzi, everything. Yet for this child, his life was confined to an 8x8 room in the garage in Florida. Have you been to Florida in the summer? Do you know how hot it gets in Florida in the summer? At one point, 18 hours at a time, locked in that room. Now the kicker. This child is adopted. How many times do you think, wow, the people who adopt children, amazing. It is saintly. It is so great. You wish more people would do what these incredible parents do when they take in a child and raise that child and take care of that child and give that child a family. This child was given basically, according to investigators, a prison sentence while mom and dad are living a life of luxury. Now, they have an explanation and all, so you'll hear it, but let me show you a picture of the parents. They're mugshots. They're arrested. There they are, 46 years old or so, I believe, doing well in life. I don't know why. If the child needed help, they could afford the help. What child needs to be put in an 8x8 room? I want to know what the explanation is for all of this and what they're going to say. Ryan Hughes, great reporter for WPTV, our affiliate down in Florida, has more for us tonight.
Police say this abuse went unnoticed for years, and according to a new police report, the boy told officers he was once locked inside that tiny structure for up to 18 hours. The report also says the boy pleaded with officers to arrest him because he, quote, rather go to prison than be back at home. Inside the quiet Egret Landing community in Jupiter, down the tree-lined streets and at the end of a cul-de-sac, police say sits a house of horror.
This was despicable and shouldn't happen.
Inside this garage, Jupiter police say a 14-year-old boy was forced to live in an 8x8-foot box with a mattress, a camera, and a bucket used to go to the bathroom. Meals were brought to him, but he was only allowed out, police say, to attend school.
Everybody's watching out for each other. So I'm really surprised something like this went unnoticed.
But police tell us the teen has been physically abused and confined to the small space since at least 2017. Today, his adopted parents, Tracy and Timothy Ferriter, in court, now charged with aggravated child abuse and false imprisonment.
I came outside yesterday and seen all the cops and stuff. But, I didn't think it was something like that. I thought it was maybe they got in a fight.
Jupiter police say they first came to the home after the boy was reported missing by his mom a week and a half ago. 2 days later, officers went back, and once allowed inside, they spotted the small room with a deadbolt on the door. The boy was later found at his school and interviewed. Police executed a search warrant on the camera mounted over the mattress and say thousands of videos were found of the boy locked inside. In court, the couple's attorney argued the teen may have been abused because he has an attachment disorder with his parents.
It makes my heart go out to that boy, and I hope he's able to find the support he needs.
3 other children also living inside the home have now been removed by DCF. Tonight, the couple is behind bars, being held on $50,000 bond. In Jupiter, Ryan Hughes, WPTV, News Channel 5.
And we've got an update. It was only 50,000. They got out. So mom and dad are back out, living in luxury, and we're just hoping tonight that child is being taken care of a little bit better than he was. I mean, they say they've got the videos up. What is going on in this house? And what do these parents say? So, attachment disorder? And this is how you respond to that? This is bizarre. This is sick. Absolutely sick. And think about it, this is a child who was adopted, a child who probably wanted more than anything in the world just to be in a family and have siblings and have a mom and a dad and everything else that comes along with that. And he ends up locked up in the garage. Let me bring in my think tank tonight. Joining us in the Bronx, New York, criminal defense attorney Renee Hill. In Houston, Texas, criminal defense attorney Carmen Rowe. And in Atlanta, Georgia, criminal defense attorney and law professor at Emory University and Georgia Innocence Project board member Molly Parmer. Great to have everyone here tonight. This is a disturbing story off the top. The good news is the child is alive. Too many times I'm covering a story like this, the child doesn't survive. But the child survives and will be able to tell the story of what he was going through. Renee Hill, the parents are back out living in this house. There's nothing that they can say to explain this, is there?
This is very, very bizarre, as you said, Vinny, and I think that they're going to have a very difficult time explaining why this child is locked away in the garage. It sounds like maybe they thought he needed some type of help or care, but they didn't get the type of help or care that he needed. They took it upon themselves, it seems, at this point, from the little that we know, to lock him in the garage. And obviously he's been traumatized because for him to go out, to go to school every day and not say anything to anyone and come back home, you know, day in and day out, he has been abused for quite some time, and I really don't know what the parents are going to say here. It's going to be very interesting to hear exactly what their defense is in this horrible, horrible situation.
Well, they'll be able to afford the best defense money can buy. They've got money, they've got resources, which is why this is even more disturbing to me, Carmen Rowe. Reactive attachment disorder apparently was something that was talked about, but you know, you've got a child that has needs. It is 1,000% obvious to everyone that that's not the way you handle it. That's not the way you deal with it.
Well, Vinny, you couldn't be more right. They already have Nellie King, who's a fantastic defense attorney representing them. She's already put forward this mental health issue that involves anger and impulsive behavior. And I think we need to reserve judgment. I mean, all we have at this time is the state's version of events. And so
did you hear the part, Carmen, about the bucket?
The bucket's hard to get past. I'm not going to say otherwise. I'm just going to say that we need to reserve judgment until we find out exactly what's going on in this household. I mean, look, we have two adults who live in an affluent area, who appear to be educated, well-respected in their community. There's got to be another explanation. And I think that defense counsel is already putting forward some issues that bear some attention from the community before we decide that we're going to put them in prison over this.
Yeah, well, they can forget about the respect. Molly Parmer, you know how I know that mom knew she shouldn't have been doing what she was doing? Because I read the police statement. And they said when they first asked her about that room in the garage, she said, "Oh, that's an office."
Okay, here's the thing. In my prior life, before I became a criminal defense lawyer, I taught students with behavior disorders, right? So I know what reactive attachment disorder is. And here are some issues that will have to be, I'm going to withhold judgment too, but will have to be further developed by the defense. Typically, we see this with infants and children who are toddlers. Certainly, there is a debate whether it can even exist if you're older than 5 years old. And second of all, treatment for this very rare emotional disorder, reactive attachment disorder, is a lot of nurturing, bonding, quality time with your child, and alongside therapy. But certainly what you would not want to do with somebody with this diagnosis diagnosis is put them in the office or in this room with the bucket. So I don't know. I don't. Yeah, certainly the fact that she said that was just an office and tried to downplay it. I have some questions there. But look, Vinny, it's always these like normal looking ones who do the most heinous stuff. I just got to say that as well. Don't not all criminals look the same. These two, this crime, I will reserve judgment, but can't wait to find out exactly what their side is going to be.
Right. And Renee, if it was a couple that was struggling, that wasn't sophisticated, you might almost not excuse it, but maybe understand it a little bit better, that they didn't know how to deal with a child that was having issues, if in fact that is the case, right? I'm presuming that this child is having some issues. I'm not saying it, I'm just presuming it and saying this may be what part of the defense is. If they were unsophisticated, didn't have means, I could understand it, I wouldn't excuse it, but here I neither excuse it nor understand it. You're living in this wonderful subdivision, you're in the cul-de-sac, you've got the opportunity to get that child all the help and attention that the child needs. And, I don't know how you get past this 8x8 room. I mean, you show that to a jury. You show the jury a bucket. You show the jury the thousands of tapes that they have to see what the life was like for this child. That is problematic for mom and dad.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. And as you stated, this is a family that is extremely well off. They have a beautiful, beautiful home, and obviously have the money to put him in a place if that's where he needs to be. They have the ability to find a location with resources for him, and they can afford it. So I can understand your statement that if they were not as well off, possibly not necessarily excusable behavior, but understandable behavior to a certain degree. But nonetheless, there's a lot more that we need to hear and understand before we can really figure out what was going on in the minds of these parents.
Right.
It does not look good at all.
Right. And I'm not a potential juror in the case. I don't have to keep an open mind right now. Right now, my presumption is that mom and dad need to go to prison. But we'll see if I hear anything from them that changes my mind. Of course, we'll continue to track this story as we get more and more information.